Today we are looking at building the scales of A minor, F sharp major, and G sharp major. Let's get straight into it, starting with A minor, because it doesn't have any sharps or flats. So with the treble clef, we're going to start at A, go to B, C, D, E, F, and then G, and then back to A. So it's going to go A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and back to A. So it's going to go full circle with 8 notes in total. That's pretty much all there is to constructing it, but if we're going to look at the whole and half steps, we can use this little chart here. G, where you're going to see that you're going to start with a whole step into a half step, whole step, whole step, half step, whole step, and then it would be whole step to a whole step, and then to a half step if it carried over. So looking at this, since we start at A, we're going to start with the whole step, half step, whole step, half step, whole step. And that's the construction in A minor. If we do it with the bass clef, we're just going to see it shift down a bit. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A. Yes. So now moving on to F sharp major, we're going to obviously see all sharps with this since it's a sharp. So we're going to start by just putting out the notes. It's going to go F to F, so we start with F alphabetically, F, G, and then cycle back to A. F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and back to F. D, E, and then back to F. So for our sharps, we use a circle of fifths, which will show you that F sharp has sharps at F, G, A, not B, but C, D, E, and then also at F sharp. So we can also notate those on here. For each of them. And then if we fill that out on the bass clef, it's going to look similar but lower since we're just going alphabetical, which goes upwards on both of them. So F, G, A, B, C, D, E, and then F. You'll notice that the F is in between these 2 dots of the bass clef, which is also sometimes called the F clef, I believe. And then we'll have to put sharps at, again, F, G, A, not B, C, D, E, and finally F to complete it. So that's going to be our F sharp major. Moving on to G flat major, which you're going to see something interesting once we finish it. We start at G, and then we go alphabetical. G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, up there. And for our sharps for that, we are going to, not sharps, sorry, flats, since it's G flat, all of them will be flats. We are going to be looking at, for our flats, we're going to look at a flat for G, a flat for A flat for B, a flat for C, flat for D, and a flat for E. No flat at F, and then obviously at G again to complete it. So if we notate that, we'll get our completed treble clef of it. And then we'll also want to fill that out on the bass clef, which is down here. So G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And then we'll want to fill out our flats. And so the interesting thing you'll see about G flat major and F sharp major is they're actually the same thing but with different notations. So if we look at this diagram here, F sharp, G flat. F sharp will take a half step. This is a whole step, so it's 2 semitones. But if we take a half step, we'll end up here because that's what sharps do. And if we take a flat and go backwards, we're going to end up at the same point. So they start, excuse me, they're going to start at the same point and end at the same point, but it'll be notated differently on the staff. But they are actually the same thing. And that's all for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed.